Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you today. Thank you for joining us on this, our very special travel show. It is indeed our Japan and China travel show. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a new year, 2023, full of promise, full of hope. And it is indeed Chinese New Year. And the symbol is the year of the rabbit. Yes, the year of the rabbit, a symbol of peace and prosperity. So 2023, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about hope. So ladies and gentlemen, lots and lots coming up today. You want to know what's coming up? Well, coming up on today's show, I'll be talking to Wendy Wu. Yes, Wendy Wu, founder of Wendy Wu Tours, on everything China and Japan, so stick around for that. Plus, we'll be taking you on 2 virtual travel journeys. Yes, we're actually going all the way over to China and Japan, and we're taking you on 2 journeys on 2 of Wendy Wu Tours' best-selling tours in those countries. And ladies and gentlemen, do stick around, stay with us until the end of this show, because at the end we'll be opening up our VIP travel lounge. And this is your opportunity to join the team, meet the experts, and ask all the questions that you've ever wanted to ask on China and Japan, and also touring with Wendy Wu Tours. It's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by Wendy Wu, founder of Wendy Wu Tours, the UK's #1 specialist and multi-award winning tour operator to Japan and China, and also one of the world's most influential and prominent people in travel in the UK, Australia and New Zealand. Wendy, great to see you and happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you, Andy. Happy Chinese New Year to you all.
So Wendy, Chinese New Year, lots of celebrating to be done. We want to know, how did you celebrate?
Our team kicked start the celebration with a karaoke dinner in Chinatown in London. Then the next day is the Chinese New Year's Eve. So I went to Blackpool for a travel show. I have seen many repeat customers after 3 years for the first time. So that was really a special treat. Then I dashed back to London to have the Chinese New Year's Day dinner with my family and friends. In fact, we are going to celebrate almost every weekend for a whole month.
And Wendy, talking of celebrations, yes, a very important year for you, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, the 25th anniversary of Wendy Wu Tours. Yes, I think that deserves a round of applause.
Hey. Thank you all for your great support, our wonderful friends and loyal customers. Thank you for making us what we are today.
So Wendy, every year you bring us lots of new tours, lots of new amazing authentic experiences. So this year, 25 years, it's a biggie, ladies and gentlemen. What treasures have you got in store this year?
It is the shining diamonds of regions along the Silk Road. Journey through Central Asia, road to Samarkand. Just the names call out to the spirit of adventure. Then the Caucasus of Azerbaijan, Georgia and Armenia, 2 of the earliest Christian kingdoms in the world. Then Turkey, Jordan, of course Portugal, the most underrated gems of Europe, all waiting for you to discover and explore with us.
Well, Wendy, so exciting. That's a big expansion, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here, the countries along the Silk Road. Wow. Wendy, anything else special planned for this year?
Yes, we have a very special 25th anniversary trip. I will be joining all the VIP customers on board our state-of-the-art Victoria Miko, the still brand new and the greenest ship on the river, jam-packed with lots of extra special elements. This tour is born to be a once a lifetime 25th anniversary tour.
Now, Wendy, we're here today to celebrate Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Wu Tours is the #1 specialist tour operator in the UK to Japan. Wendy, Japan, it's back. It's bigger than ever before. Cherry Blossom is back for the first time in 3 years. I heard, Wendy, you're completely sold out.
Yes, Andy. But phew, we actually just secured some more seats last night so that you can all experience it this year. Missing that, the fantastic autumn color in October and November is another best time to visit Japan. There is the best tour in the whole of the country I would like to recommend for everyone. Japan Uncovered. It follows in the footsteps of Joanna Lumley and augmented many magic authentic experiences, such as the 1,000-year-old traditional papermaking in Takayama and the Sunrise House in Kyoto and the snow monkeys in the Japanese Alps, just to name a few.
So Wendy, Japan has surpassed China as your #1 destination. And ladies and gentlemen, that was even before COVID. So as the UK's #1 to China, we want to know what's happening there. We've seen the news, Wendy. It all looks a bit chaotic. So what's your insight?
Andy, the crazy zero policy and quarantine rules are all scrapped. And as crazy, 80% of the huge population has caught and got rid of COVID so quickly, achieving the herd immunity at a lightning speed. So finally, COVID is being rightfully downgraded to the common cold. So glad. Hurry! Stay in tuned. You will be the first to know from us when this wonderful country reopens again. And we will get you there.
So ladies and gentlemen, great news, Wendy. This is really exciting. But we want to know, what can we expect when we travel to Japan and China now?
Traveling in Japan and China and Asia right now is like traveling back in time to 25 years ago. No crowds, less traffic, up closer and personal with rejuvenated nature, attractions, and animals, where locals love to see you and welcome you with open arms. The experience is really surreal and magic. So please experience that for yourself as soon as you can and if you can.
Wendy, amazing. What a year. 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. What a year to remember.
And China was the starting point of the Silk Road. Along the Silk Road, our ancestors connected culture, traded goods on camel's back in ancient times. Today, Wendy Wu Tours and our wonderful customers and friends are connecting cultures and trading experiences in the countries along the same route.
Wendy, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, so much in this 25th year. Wendy, an absolute pleasure as always speaking to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, a very happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you, Andy. Happy Chinese New Year. Bon voyage. 新年好.
Hello, my name is Lee Holden. I'm Head of Marketing here at Wendy Tours, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to a country that holds a really special place in our hearts here at Wendy Tours, China. For me, China brings together a wealth of varied experiences like no other destination, a place where the incredibly old and state-of-the-art rubs shoulders. China's home to magnificent sights like the Great Wall, unique experiences like meeting giant pandas, vibrant megacities and serene natural beauty. So today I'd like to introduce you to the most popular of our 21 escorted group tours in China, a 16-day tour called Wonders of China, which takes in so much of what is wonderful about this astonishing country and is the perfect way to showcase the highlights of the Middle Kingdom. This 2-week holiday starts amidst the imperial splendour of Beijing, then heads west to the ancient historic city of Xi'an with its amazing terracotta army. Following a relaxing 4-night cruise down the Yangtze River, we meet the cute giant pandas before journeying south to the spectacular natural beauty of Guilin. The tour ends with a real change of pace, amidst the bright lights and futuristic skyscrapers of Shanghai, one of the most dynamic cities in the world. The tour starts in Beijing. Serving as a centre of so many different empires and cultures, the city's ancient monuments are unparalleled, and we'll explore them all, from the Forbidden City and Summer Palace to Tiananmen Square. For many people, the Great Wall of China is top of their wish list of any visit to China. Stretching for 4,000 miles from the Gobi to the Bohai Sea, snaking over precipitous mountain ranges and desert dunes, this is one attraction that really lives up to the hype. Now, most companies tend to visit the section of the Great Wall closest to Beijing at Badaling, which is convenient but can be incredibly busy. We take you to the Diongwen Pass, a much quieter section where you get fantastic views and an amazing opportunity to get pictures of just you on the Great Wall with nobody around. It's just one example of how our China expertise means you get to experience the very best of the places you've been dreaming about. From Beijing, we fly west to Xi'an. The city is of course famous for the 7,000 terracotta statues guarding the tomb of the first emperor of China. Found entirely by accident by a farmer digging a well, today it's one of the most significant archaeological sites in the world. What is perhaps less well known are the delights of Xi'an itself. The gateway to the ancient Silk Road, the city is home to some of China's most ancient sites. Diverse architecture and delicious food too. The ancient city is surrounded by huge walls built during the Ming Dynasty. They're so wide in fact that we explore them by bicycle on this tour. You get amazing views of the city and it really is great fun. Most operators tend to stay on the outskirts outside the city, but we stay right within the walls to soak up the ambience of the ancient lanes. So we get to spend an evening wandering through the Muslim Quarter before enjoying a feast of traditional Shu-drailed dumplings and a performance of Tang Dynasty dancing. From Xi'an, we journey south for a relaxing 4 days cruising the Yangtze River. The river is over 4,000 miles long, and the riverbanks are home to almost a third of the population of the country. Again, many other tour companies spend just 2 nights on the river, but we know 4 nights is what you really need to experience all of the attractions. It's also a supremely relaxing interlude on what is a jam-packed tour. You'll get to discover the man-made marvel of the Three Gorges Dam, explore the tranquil beauty of the Shannon Stream Gorges, visit the Jade Emperor Scenic Area, and just to relax and watch the daily life of the world's most populous nation drift by your window. We disembarked the cruise in the city of Chongqing, whose zoo is home to the wonderful Panda House. Designed to resemble the rock caves and bamboo groves of their native Sichuan mountains. At the Panda House, you can watch the pandas doing what they do best, chomping through great piles of bamboo and romping around with their fellows. Our next stop feels like it's jumped straight off the pages of an ancient Chinese painting. The landscapes around the southern city of Guilin are breathtakingly beautiful, with dramatic karst mountains framing sinuous rivers and emerald paddy fields. The riverside town of Yangshuo is really charming, with its ancient cobbled main street and little side streets and narrow alleyways where you can just see ordinary life going on. You'll also get to see the ancient practice of cormorant fishing, a really, truly unique experience. The final stop on the tour is a real change of pace from the sleepy south. Shanghai, perhaps one of the world's most dynamic cities, is a place of real contrast, from the European-style mansions to the modern skyscrapers. You'll enjoy an eye-popping river cruise here, with the historic Bund on one side and the futuristic towers of Pudong on the other. A suitable conclusion to a tour of astonishing contrasts. So that brings us to the end of our Wonders of China tour and our whistle-stop tour through China's highlights. With China's borders finally opening, I hope this has whetted your appetite for this incredible country, and we look forward to welcoming you on one of our tours here very soon. Thank you very much for your time today, and goodbye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was China, magnificent. And now we're off to Japan. Yes, get your cases packed. Let's get ready and go over to Japan. Now, Japan, ladies and gentlemen, was the latest country, the latest Asian country to reopen last year. And guess what? Wendy Wu Tours were there. Yes, we were lucky enough to have our customers on the ground in Japan to experience that reopening. And boy, was it incredible. Our customers came back with fantastic experiences. It was the quietest time to visit, to see the attractions, to get up close and personal with the nature and really enjoy this country as it reopened.
is Peter Crane. I'm Product Director here at Wendy Wu Tours, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to one of our favourite destinations in the world, Japan. Whether you visit Japan in March or April for the springtime cherry blossom season, or choose to travel in the equally spectacular autumn leaf season in September and October, when Japan's famous ornamental gardens are arguably at their very best, Japan is the destination that apparently has it all, a quite extraordinary history and cultural traditions like no other, exquisite art and exquisite architecture. Sensational food, where every mouthful seems designed to offer up a different taste, and landscapes that are famous the world over, including this site, the iconic and perfectly symmetrical silhouette of Mount Fuji, Japan's highest point and regarded by many as its spiritual heart. So today I'd like to introduce you to the most popular of our 11 escorted group tours in Japan. This is a 17-day tour called Japan Uncovered, which in our view will show you the very best this country has to offer in a 2-week holiday. Starting in Osaka, the tour takes in the cultural highlights of Nara, Miyajima and Kyoto, then heads north to the Japanese Alps, and where we experience the beauty of the rural landscapes of Kanazawa, Takayama and Nagano, before exploring the equally spectacular region around Mount Fuji and ending the tour at Tokyo, a capital city like no other. We travel mainly by coach, following the normal Wendy Wu policy of allowing 1.5 seats per passenger, and occasionally by bullet train as well, as I'll describe. The tour is escorted by a driver and a national guide, whose job it is to take care of you and all the logistics of the tour, from organising the excursions, the meals, and everything else. The tour is fully inclusive, so you don't have to worry about paying extra for meals, for excursions, or any of the many other activities included in the tour. We start in Osaka, Japan's third largest city, with a reputation for its flamboyance, its fun-loving people, and most of all, for its food. The street food here is out of this world, with local specialities like okonomiyaki, a Japanese-style savory pancake made from shredded cabbage, green onion, and often added pork and other seafood fillings. From Osaka, we visit nearby Nara, the first recognized capital of Japan, with no less than 8 UNESCO-listed historical sites. And also this place, pictured here, Osaka Castle, built in 1583 in a lovely hilltop location overlooking the whole city of Osaka. The following day, we drive west to Himeji Castle. This castle is older still. It dates back to 1333. Of all the castles in Japan, this must be the most impressive for its size and for its beauty. Locally, it's known as the White Heron Castle, and the lines of the architecture, along with its painted white exterior, do make it feel as light as a bird taking off. On a more somber note, we pause at Hiroshima to reflect on the devastation caused by the first atomic bomb in August 1945, but also to admire the way the city has since been rebuilt and now thrives as the leading city in southwestern Japan. From Hiroshima, we visit the nearby island of Miyajima and the lovely Itsukushima Shrine with its very famous floating torii gate. Now, a highlight of any tour to Japan is to travel by bullet train at speeds of up to 320 kilometers an hour or 200 miles per hour. On this tour, we use the bullet train to reach Kyoto, the cultural heart of Japan. Kyoto was the capital city for over 1,000 years and still home to many of Japan's most iconic traditions, such as the custom of the geisha, the wearing of the kimono, and the very precise rituals of the tea ceremony. All of these we'll experience during our time in Kyoto. Kyoto is also home to the highest density of shrines and temples anywhere in Japan. For example, the stunning but minimalist Kinkakuji Temple, also known as the Golden Temple, set in its tranquil gardens and surrounded by water to show off the golden reflections. Perhaps the most spiritually evocative place we visit in Kyoto is the Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's in a beautiful setting with 10,000 vermilion painted torii gates. These gates represent the journey from the everyday world into the spiritual world. Driving north, we come to Kanazawa and visit Kenrokuen. This is one of the so-called three great gardens of Japan. These traditional Japanese gardens are designed very specifically to combine plants, rock, and water to create simple and clean lines for the eye to enjoy, reflecting tranquility and peaceful contemplation. Next, we venture into the Japanese Alps. This is a mountainous belt that stretches right across Japan's main island, Honshu, from east to west. And we drive first to the town of Takayama, pausing along the way to explore this town pictured here, Shirakawagu, with its traditional 300-year-old thatched farmhouses. As you see from the picture, the pitch of the farmhouse roofs is very steep, and this is because this is one of the snowiest regions in the whole of Japan, where normally in a normal winter they'd expect 10 meters of snowfall. We stay nearby at Takayama, a traditional mountain town with many of its Edo period buildings still upright and still intact. And this area here, Takayama, is also famous for its beef. It's said to be the best beef in Japan, possibly in the world. The cattle is reared in the local area in the pristine mountain wet meadows, and for that reason is absolutely delicious. And we'll definitely get a chance to try it. We also visit the nearby 16th century Matsumoto Castle. This is known as the Crow due to its very dark wooden exteriors. Now, this more rural region of Japan is also perfect for getting close to some of Japan's deep-rooted traditions. We visit, for example, a miso house to learn about how to make miso paste, the staple ingredient in Japanese cuisine. We also go to a wasabi farm, pictured here, to learn about how wasabi is produced. Plus, we learn how to make washi paper in the traditional Japanese way, and we visit a samurai house to learn the culture and customs of the samurai. From Nagano, the city that hosted the 1998 Winter Olympics, we make a side trip to visit the Japanese macaques, better known as the snow monkeys, at Yudanaka, bathing in their hot springs. These are the most northern dwelling of all the monkey species in the world, and can only manage in these climates because of the thermal springs. These snow monkeys are famous for their intelligence. They've learned not only how to stay warm in the thermal waters, but also how to wash their food before eating it. And they sometimes even roll snowballs just for fun. From the Japanese Alps, we head south to Mount Fuji, Japan's highest mountain at 3,776 meters. This iconic mountain is intimately connected with so many aspects of Japan's history, its culture, and its identity. We spend a full day in the area with a cable car ride from Hakone and a boat trip on Lake Ashi, both with lovely views of the mountain and the surrounding landscapes. Finally, the tour ends at Tokyo with 2 full days to take in the best of the city. Few other places combine the ultra-modern and the ancient so effortlessly as Tokyo. We visit the 634-meter high Tokyo Skytree, the tallest tower in the world and the second tallest building in the world, with stunning views out across the city in all directions. We also walk over the iconic Shibuya crossing, symbol of modern Tokyo, and where up to 3,000 pedestrians can cross the road simultaneously. But there's time too to visit old Tokyo. For example, the Sensoji Temple, pictured here, which dates right back to the 7th century. This is the oldest and most sacred site in the city. So that brings us to an end of the Japan Uncovered tour. Because the tour is so varied and so comprehensive, it has become our most popular tour to Japan, as I said. Some of the departures in autumn this year and spring next year are already full or close to full. So all that remains for me is to say thank you very much for your time today. Thank you and goodbye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying today's show. Now, if you are watching today's show and you are a solo traveler and you're thinking, well, this all looks great, I'd like to do it, but I'm not sure whether to take the plunge and go ahead. Well, please do. Solo traveling is huge, and here at Wendy Wu Tours, there are 2 different options for you to take if you want to travel solo. You can join one of our regular tour departures where you'll be with lots of people, meet lots of friends and have just the fantastic time. Or if you prefer to actually join one of our dedicated solo tours, then we have dedicated solo tour departures for you as well. So 2 different options there. And so now we're going over to Anne, one of our regular solo travelers. She's a big fan of solo traveling, to tell you more about it.
I've been very fortunate that I've had 2 long tours already with Wendy Wu, 4 weeks in China and 4 weeks in South America, both on my own, and they were absolutely fantastic, to the extent that I almost don't want to travel with any other company now, because I just feel everything is so well organised, from the initial booking to getting safely back to England. The guides are superb. The range of activities suits me perfectly. So there's some history, some geography, quite a lot about the culture of the area, the opportunity to try things, whether it's dance, music, cooking. Every day brings a new delight, really. And I do feel so well looked after. If there's any sort of problem, like in the run-up to this trip, I was worried about COVID and what would happen if I tested positive, what would happen if I had to isolate. And the logistics department answered all my queries immediately and was so reassuring and made me feel confident that people would help me every inch of the way. And that has been the case, actually. It's been marvellous to be so well looked after. I love that the meals are included, so I don't need to start wandering around at night on my own, trying to find somewhere for dinner in a strange area. I love it that all the entries are included, so there's not this big debate about should I, shan't I, how much is it going to cost, how much money do I need to take with me. I've hardly spent anything, to be honest, just incidental expenditure. So I think the value for money, which is not my main priority, but it is also extremely good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what a show. That ends the first part of today's show. But please do stay with us now, because we are going straight over to our VIP Travel Lounge. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you scroll down your screens, you will see a button. Just press that button and you'll be taken by magic straight to the VIP Travel Lounge. And that's where you're going to meet the travel experts. Yes, our team are waiting to hear from you and talk to you today to answer all of your questions about traveling in China and Japan, plus traveling on escorted touring with Wendy Wu Tours. It's going to be a great. Please do join us, and remember your opportunity to ask any question that you want to ask. I'll be in the travel lounge myself. In fact, I'll be hosting you there. So let's go over there now, and I'll see you soon.
We found Wendy Wu to be spot on from start to finish, with all the actual interactions from the booking to the preparation for the trip to arriving at the airport. It's been painless and faultless. Wendy Wu, they really do look after you.
I've been on other tours before, and yeah, Wendy Wu definitely includes sort of a lot more, it makes it a lot easier.
I liked the idea of what Wendy Wu offered. They have an excellent reputation. So I looked at a number of other tour companies, but Wendy Wu seemed to be the best.
Everything being included is really important. It makes it very, very easy, and you don't have to worry.
I just felt confident that that Wendy Wu would know, the best places to go and the best things to do, and it's proved so far on the trip. It's proved correct.
I've been really impressed with not only right from the start when I rang up to book, the staff in the office were really helpful, just kind of organising things and making sure that we got all the right paperwork in.
Our national escort was Lily. Lily's been fantastic, so full of energy and so helpful. She calls us Lily's family. She's always referring to us as Lily's family, and I think she's really helped us actually bond as a group, which made the whole trip much more enjoyable.
The Great Wall was extraordinary. It genuinely brought tears to my eyes, looking out and seeing, understanding the history, and just seeing how it was built in inhospitable terrain across the mountain ridges. It was awe-inspiring.
Wendy Wu staff, the local guides, our national guide Lily, they've been more than helpful on many occasions, and they have done absolutely everything they can to ensure that we've had the trip of a lifetime.
I hugged a panda, which was an amazing experience and one that I will never forget.
I recommend Wendy Wu Tour to everybody, and tell them that if they want to go to China, nobody better than Wendy Wu Tour.
I will recommend Wendy Wu. It's been a terrific experience with them. I've been very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'd recommend it to people that want to go on an adventure and visit somewhere they'd probably only see once, but to see the authenticity rather than just the tourist highlights that you could see internet.
I will certainly recommend Wendy Wu Tours when I go back to England. In fact, I'm sure we'll be going on more Wendy Wu Tours because we want to go to Vietnam and other places, and I'll see Wendy Wu do those tours, so we'll certainly be booking again with Wendy Wu.